What's up, gamers? It's your host, Cobra, and today we've got a bunch of news from Riot Racers. Now, quick programming update, because over the next few months, I expect that this project is really going to kick into gear. We got a ton of news recently, which we're covering today, and a lot of that is going to go into action very soon. Plus, there's a whole bunch of additional news that I'm expecting to come in the near future as well. So if you want to stay up to date on everything Riot Racers and the Freerolls coverage, make sure you like and subscribe this video and help support the channel. Also, make sure that you're following us on Twitter so that you get all of the latest updates. So let's jump right into the Riot Owners Club, or the ROC as I'm going to refer to it. And there's a couple of overall changes to the program that I think need to be called out. And the first one is that they've changed the rewards in a couple of significant ways. First of all, the rewards are now variable and based on the specific Genesis assets that you're holding. This includes Genesis cars as well as Genesis racetrack plots, which is a big deal. The fact that they made it variable is important as well, because if you've been looking at the secondary market for Riot Racers, there's a couple of weak points that I've called out before, namely the more common higher end cars don't sell for much different than their mint price, and the racetrack plots have also not had very much demand and currently sell for a little bit under their mint price. This is adding value specifically to those places because higher class cars will now give you more Riot rewards, and racetrack plots are going to give you more Riot rewards via the ROC as well. They already pay out ROC passively as a standard part of the NFT, but now you're going to get those ROC rewards as well. And in my mind, this adds real value to both of those weaker points of the market. The other big update is that they've removed a benefit that a lot of people complained about, and that is at certain levels, you are going to get a head start on drops. Now, of course, that would be a very valuable benefit to receive. However, there was a lot of concern, especially the way that they've structured their drops, that this would result in too many or even all of the rarest and most desirable assets going to the same folks over and over again, which makes for a difficult way to expand the game and bring in new users. So while I would have benefited from that myself, I think this is a positive change and one that will make the community very happy. So let's dive right in. Now, first things first, in order to be a part of the ROC at all, you need to hit some minimum requirements, and that will actually get you to the first of those 5 levels. The first level is called the Genesis level, and the requirements are relatively low, and this is what each step up is building off of. So for the Genesis level, you need to hold at least 100 Riot tokens, and you need to own a Genesis Riot car. You also need to log in and race at least 5 times per week. If you do this, you're going to not only receive your variable Riot rewards every month, but you are also going to receive the lowest level of loot box, which can include all sorts of interesting prizes from merch all the way up to racetrack plots or cars. Now, most owners of any Genesis asset are, in my opinion, going to easily qualify for the Genesis level, but the next level up, which is the Baron level, is where things really start to get interesting. Now, you can qualify for Baron level a couple of different ways. You can own 1 Genesis car plus 1 Genesis racetrack plot and 200 Riot tokens plus the 5 races per week in order to get in. Alternatively, you could simply own 5 Genesis cars and forego the racetrack plot. Now, if you've been watching and following this channel, you know we love those racetrack plots. They provide passive income. So I would certainly steer anybody interested in investing in this game to go that route. However, lots of people like the cars way more, and if you're intending to do a lot of racing, then getting 5 Genesis cars is not that tall an order and another great way to get into a higher level of the ROC. The Baron level also introduces an additional reward, which I think is very cool. At the Baron level and up, once per year, you're going to be able to claim a special edition car. If you're at the Baron level, it will be a rookie car, and it will be limited to no more than 150 versions. This means that it is going to be about as common as a Genesis car will be, and that is a really cool benefit. Level 3 of the ROC is called the Tycoon level, and this is where it starts to get a little bit more pricey to get into. There's a couple of ways to qualify again. You can either own 10 Genesis cars, which is going to be the cheapest way to get in at this level if you stay focused on the floor model cars. The other way is you can own a Genesis car plus at least 2 different types of land. Now, important to note that different levels of racetrack plots do not count as a second type of land. So, for example, I own both rookie racetrack plots and rally racetrack plots, but that only counts as owning racetrack plots. However, since we got really lucky on a previous drop and were able to purchase a mechanic shop, that does count as a second land type and will bump us up to Tycoon. I also need to hold 300 Riot tokens, and again, everybody needs to do the 5 races per week. At this level, the rewards get a little bit better. In fact, you get a once a year car that is special edition, and it will be a driver class. This means that it's going to be better and more rare than the rookie version that the Barons will receive, but less rare and valuable than the Arrow version that the OGs will receive. Next up is the OG role, and this one is a little bit different in that it is meant to specifically reward early investors. And by early, I mean even before the Freeroll was investing in this project and following Riot Racers. In order to get the OG level, you need to own either a crypto whip, which is one of the first 101 cars that were created and sold, or you need to hold a Genesis Riot Racer car labeled number 1 through 200. You still need to race 5 times per week, and at this level you need to hold 500 Riot tokens. The benefit here is that you're going to get an Arrow class special edition car once per year. You also get one of the best loot boxes as an OG loot box, which will have higher end upgrades for your cars and I assume better chances at cool things like swag and merchandise. And finally is the Ludicrous level, or level 5 of the ROC. Now, quite honestly, I don't believe anybody has qualified for this level just yet. I'm not aware of anybody. And this is primarily because you need to hold 100,000 Riot tokens in order to qualify. You also need to own at least one of every type of Genesis asset available in the game. So basically you need to own at least one of everything, as well as be a major holder of the Riot token. Currently Riot is trading for about 40 cents each, which means that 100,000 is going to be a $40,000 investment, which is way more than I am going to recommend anybody make unless you have buku dollars in the bank. If you are holding some assets today, it makes a lot of sense to take a look at the requirements for the next level up as well. So I expect that most owners of any Genesis asset today will qualify for the Genesis level relatively easily because it's simply owning one car. If you are at that point, you are only one asset away from moving up to the Baron level, and you can do that by adding a racetrack plot, which you can still get at approximately the drop price. It is 0.2 Ether, so it's not the cheapest purchase. However, it provides passive income for the future, and it gets you a bump to a higher level in the ROC. One of the things that I like about the ROC is that they've offered some flexibility in terms of how you qualify. So maybe you're not interested in a racetrack plot at all. You can make that same jump from Genesis to Baron by purchasing up to 4 additional Genesis race cars. Either way, by picking up additional assets, you're going to increase the amount of rewards that you're earning every month by being a part of the ROC. And if you're close to the next level, it probably makes sense to consider an additional purchase to move up so that you can get a better special edition car as well as access to the better loot boxes. Well, gamers, that wraps up our Riot Racers news update. I'd love to hear from everybody what you think about all of the big news. Are you excited about the Riot Racers Club? Are you excited about the Drivers Drop? What are your plans for each one? Please let us know in the comments, especially if you have any questions about how to proceed and what you need. If you're not already, make sure you're following us on Twitter and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to support the channel.